The white ceramic cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form.
I will be responsible with this. This is just to protect me from harm, not to show off.
The hardened vitreous enamel, at once sleek and light, adds a glow to your cheeks and a spring to your step. Just imagine what a full suit of this stuff could do for you. You really do feel more confident. Invulnerability does that. Even partial invulnerability.
This is the long sought after enemy technology. I can't just enjoy it, I must study it.
Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material.
That day probably won't ever come, but good to be prepared. Alrighty then. What's next on the list? I'm just wondering at this point. Oh yeah, Titus. Or, well, confront Clausia about the whole story. That's where it starts. And it's good that we've got those things equipped, considering we're going to meet up with the person who stole my... well, not stole. She technically bought the gun. Didn't steal it, but let's talk with Guard quickly, see if he's got anything new.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Actually no, it wasn't. Police people are gone. No, we talked to Titus. Up the stairs. Right, let's see what Clausia has to say. Or what she doesn't have to say. Where's the music coming from here? Well, wherever it was coming from, it's gone now. Actually.
This window is...
Okay, we've already gone through that. I was just wondering if there was anything new to it, but apparently not, no. Clausia.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table.
Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched, her feet long and straight.
You don't look surprised. You were expecting this.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions.
Oh, by the way, don't mind that I'm wearing 2 pieces of armor that, you know, the guy who was murdered right next to you was wearing before. Just ignore that part.
Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying so hard not to break.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Is she implying the Hardy Boys are the law?
The Hardy Boys are not the law. We are.
I know that. But the people around here, they don't see it that way. And if I am to stay here, I need to get along with them.
It's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, wine dark in the evening light.
What lies beyond it?
The Pale, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, And then Oranje, the old, old world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lights the cigarette. What's going on? Come on, what did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will
What happens if they do?
kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Fucked. People after her. Moral intern people. This isn't Oranje's lit. Nothing to do with her. You'll be the judge of that. Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
You said you studied Oranese lit. What is with this fugitive stuff?
I did. I also had a side job selling insurance that I was really good at. Got picked up by a bank. Competitive intelligence, they called it. After that, I sort of, transitioned out of the whole culture scene.
What did you do to have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
That does not answer the question in the slightest.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps on his notebook.
The job was Lou's County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Papalolo.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
She smiles. I'm sure there are people who've done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could.
Her chest rises and falls with each word. She keeps herself together and says it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
It's a motherfucker. I'm sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
She looks down. Her cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait, Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No,
What did you do then?
nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot, just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore, so I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby, you know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
This is concurrent with your doubts at the autopsy about the coloring being.
I knew it. The coloring in his lower limbs looked faint.
About half an hour had passed since the moment of death.
She nods.
You were late. The marks would be faint by that time.
He makes a small pointing motion with his pen. It's meant for you. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where's this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
I will.
There is something suspicious about that theory, but you can't put your finger on it.
When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Did you kill Lily?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun. Somewhere, lying around, close to her hand. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you killed him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
True, sire. 'Tis true.
It's true indeed. You must have had a weapon nearby. Did you use that?
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor.
Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
You wait, her light brown eyes wandering over the floor, over your face. Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarettes.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Either way, something to consider.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
So you would have us believe, but you're not.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off.
Okay.
And that little fucker threw stones at him.
Yes, I can understand why you called the police.
Her jaw is clenched. Her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravachol.
She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not have been a lie. That is impossible.
When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a drag.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene. It's right there.
In her bedroom, inside?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah, I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you, then at the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you, and she's a flight risk. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
In God's name, wake up.
Who? What? Dear God, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately before she further entangles you in her web of lies.
Let's start with your real name isn't Claudia Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Her voice cracks suddenly like there's a garrote around her neck. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
Good, you can tell me the truth.
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was the passport bullshit too? That passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Claudia Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smith.
That sounds more like a name.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smith, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
Where is this boy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds? We have to check this boy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Lazie.
The smile on her face is timid, almost painfully so.
It's a Grad name, Jimsk or Yugo-Grad in origin, not Occidental at all. Smells of motor oil, tiger, economic desolation, and rock music infused alcoholism. It also makes Klazia almost an acronym for Katarzyna Alazia.
Wait, Klazia is an abbreviation of Katarzyna Alazia?
It was a sentimental thing. I wanted to be more me here, this time. So I used my nickname.
A nickname? Who gave you this nickname, Klazia?
Who gave it to you?
A teenage boy. 1,000,000 years ago.
Hold on, Katarzyna Alazia is not an Oranese name, is it? It's not even Mundi. It's Grad.
My parents were Zhimsk immigrants, but I'm nationalized Oranese. All I remember is Oranie. Alazia is my father's name.
Finally we meet Katarzyna Alazia.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
You're probably not even Miss Orania 37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Okay.
Yes, they can, for lying.
Enough.
She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Let's, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies.
Is that our number, Kim?
There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
That is the emergency's desk
Okay, thank you,
number.
Encyclopedia.
Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
All right.
She stands before you, holding her back very straight.
You know what? Believe you for now. But only because I first want to check out the window.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Let's return to this later, though. I don't know. There might well be a...
The same small, heavy door.
Yes. There might well be a chance that we will never see her again. Now, that she'll just escape. But I'm willing to trust her. I'm willing to give her another chance. Let's look at the window.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass in an untarnished golden halo.
What happened here?
Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
Why is his head about the size of her body?
A two-hearted spider.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
Have a look at point A, the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
Fair point. So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Could the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Fair point. Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Yes, extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
Have a look at B prime, the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Okay. B double prime, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Have a look at point B triple prime, the islet.
1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks, on an islet in the bay.
Okay.
The fort is ruined, but the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding it, where the concrete crumbles into the sea, as you saw in the coin-operated viewer. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, B double prime, B triple prime?
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Much less than from the roof, but still.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nest if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. A simple hypothesis can be wrong, but it's something to build on.
Blink. Okay. Check island for bullet traces. How are we supposed to check an island because we can't get there? Because this thing up here. I can go to the coin-operated view and look at it, but how would I ever find gunshot residue? I suppose I could find a sniper's nest if it's there, but still. Anyway. We'll go down. We'll go get our gun. I mean, that's sort of on the way, I suppose. It's also pretty late, so we'll probably get our gun and then go to sleep. I say that as if getting our gun is going to be super easy. I mean, the meeting's set up, and I have to try and get it. Got full health. I don't think 3 health bars is going to be enough to survive a gunshot, but, you know. I'm gonna try. And I think from here on we can teleport. What is the boardwalk? Is this the boardwalk? Travel to the church. Is that on the market as well? Isn't that this place up here? Somehow feels even more ominous being zoomed out. Oh. Yeah, how about we save? Just quickly. What the hell are you?
Put your hands where I can see them.
The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself and notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Raise our hands.
The man appears to be pulling out an object from his pocket.
Fear under threat! Fear under threat! Superseding event. Split-second decision. Get on the ground! Get on the goddamn ground!
Ma'am, we just want to talk to you.
Subject yourself to a full-body cavity search. Prohibited materials concealed in nostrils, ears, mouth, navel, urethra, foreskin, vagina, and rectum.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
You're the one who drew your gun.
You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can
Oh,
learn
God.
crucial facts before you do.
We can solve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance! Suspect alert! Get on the ground!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot! Big red key! Big red key!
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police shitbag! Hug the pavement! You're under arrest!
You're not the police. We are the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Lieutenant W. Freighter, Harry Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57.
No. Oh, no. No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
We really are cops. Look, my badge.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in dispatch! Sector! Azimuth!
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
Doesn't look good. Let's deal with this later.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
But, well, I can actually put a point in hand-eye coordination. At least something. I would have liked to change my clothes, but I suppose I don't have the time. So it's down to luck.
Here's the plan.
Good luck.
Drop the multi-tool and immediately dart right. The noise will startle her, allowing you to close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Kim, I'm almost certain there are no bullets in that gun.
Huh? My god, I think you're right.
Go ahead, pull the trigger. I dare you.
Suicide back home. Split-second decision. Eat lead, scumbag.
Oh my god.
God, I almost blew her head off.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. Police don't always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun. Right now. This might be your only chance.
Pick it up.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore.
Oh, well. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
What do you think is happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
But why was she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8. And loneliness.
Neurodegenerative disease.
Could be. Her hands were trembling and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
I'm very sorry I think that's not gonna help, but yeah, sure. Very sorry this is how life turned out for you.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
Should we just arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Yeah, Titus sounds like the man for the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, cause it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
She mutters. It seems like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence.
Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands
Probably.
motionless. Just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap?
Pick it up.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
I think so.
The lieutenant nods.
Shake her shoulder.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
Alright. We'll leave her be then. What's in here? A real? No, 30 cents. Can I travel from here? No, not quite. We're close to the church though. So we can make a quick trip to Titus and tell him about that old woman before we go to sleep. This close enough? Yes. Have a quick talk. Well, depends on if he's still here or not, to be honest.